right, let's see. Let's see if the streamy stream all connects and good to go. We got a lot of people already talking. That is awesome to see. Ooh, it looks like we're live. It looks like we're live on that side. Let's check Twitch quick. YouTube, how y'all doing? We are also live on Twitch. We're live on YouTube. We are live all over the place. How are you guys doing today? How's your days going? Let me grab my chat so you guys can actually be able to see that. Let's give a little pop there. Let's jump over on TikTok. Bowling ball Q&A and more. Go live. All right. Let me see. Let me make sure everything's connected. I see Ace hanging out there. I see John hanging, Franchise, Ace again, Sean, Jonathan. We got a lot of people hanging out. What's going on? How are you all doing? What's going on, Jonathan? Sean, how's my Wednesday going? Pretty well so far. Really well so far. Yeah, we are just absolutely vibing. Absolutely vibing. I'm just realizing I was going to post a nice little video over on TikTok. So I'm going to do that because if I post quick, it might get a handful of people to jump on. It's a fun post too. It's going to be going live on YouTube in a couple, or actually tomorrow. For a little bit of a warning, KR Strike Force is now making bowling balls. KR Strike Force makes they currently make shoes, bags, and a couple other things, and now they're making some entry-level bowling balls. So there's a full video going out tomorrow at 11 on YouTube for that. But I got to start at the top of our nice little chatty chat. We have Ace asked, I went to my girlfriend's birthday and we had at the bowling alley, so it was pretty cool. Also, I might go to the Youth Open in Appleton. Nice. That is awesome. Congrats. That is super, super cool. Franchise, always trying to get a jump. Absolutely. Looking at some KR shoes or 3G. Have you ever had any? So I have had KR shoes. I always ran KR shoes for probably about 4 years. They are arguably the most true to size shoe that we sell at our pro shop and that I've ever worn. It is as true to size as you can possibly get. They're basically the same as a pair of Nikes that you buy or a pair of Under Armours. They are, if you're a size 10, they're going to be size 10. Other brands, Dexter is a little bit big, is what I've noticed. They run a tiny bit big, maybe like a quarter of a size bigger. KR is pretty much perfect. 3G, we don't sell much 3G in all honesty. I don't know why that is. We just, KR and Dexter is what we sell most. So I'm not 100% positive on how they'll run. I've always heard they're pretty true to size. Most bowling shoes now are very, very close, but I'm not 100% positive on that. All right, let me move over our TikTok chat also so we can see that. TikTok, what is going on? How are you all doing today on this nice and fine Wednesday? We've got Hudson Lattimore hanging out. What's a good smooth pearl? What is a good smooth pearl right now? Optimum Idol Pearl is really smooth. Scorpion Strike is pretty smooth yet. Those are probably the top two, honestly. The Hyper Venom's a pretty smooth bowling ball. Nuclear Forge. Raptor Rush is a little bit smooth too. So any of those. I see Train Boy saying, I tried the Dexter SST8s and they were heavy and the 3Gs didn't feel right. Yeah, the SST8s are really, really big. They're not big in size. They're just hefty. They're a heavy shoe. So if you want a lighter shoe, I always recommend KR. I always recommend KR. They have the lightest shoes on the market. You guys have ever seen the Flyer? I think they're the Flyer Lights. Wow, they are like a feather to pick up. It's crazy. All right, let me see. What are we seeing all on here? Pravada, another ZVL stream while bowling. Always, yeah, always a Wednesday. Although every other content creator is stealing my day. Bowler's Paradise just came out with this thing and they're like, yeah, we're streaming at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays. Like, you jerks, why are you taking my day? Hey, Yofo, made it. RJ, hello from Lisbon, Portugal. Hey, welcome, RJ. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Zach in chat from Black Star. Ace, shoot, what are they? So, KR is coming out with two brand new bowling balls, technically. Pretty much one. It is the Strike Force Rise. So it's a 2.53 RG, 047 differential. Kind of strong for entry level, but their goal is just entry level. They have like 5 different colorways for it. And then they have 4 pearls and 1 solid, actually. So it's not all pearls, which is kind of crazy. And then they have a plastic ball. They have like 6 plastic balls coming out. So something to counter the T-zones. kind of. I doubt it's going to, but it is something, which is kind of cool. So that is what KR is coming out with. I have a full video going on YouTube tomorrow with a lot more info, and I posted one to TikTok about 4 minutes ago. About 4 minutes ago, give or take. Let's see. Bill Schmidt, do you think the Hypnotize overlaps the S2? I do not. I think the Hypnotize is going to be a lot stronger, so it's actually going to hook earlier and probably be a little bit sharper, in all honesty. Hey, Mickey Impressions 2.0, thank you for the follow. Yofo, when trying to choose a ball, symmetrical or asym, pearl versus solid, it's all, if it's a lot of it is a guess at the start and then building around whatever bowling balls you like. Like a lot of people prefer solids or pearls. I prefer solid bowling balls. I really do. I like solids and shiny solids over pearl bowling balls. I just throw them more. Where a lot of people actually prefer pearl bowling balls, and it's all over the place then. So it really just depends. It's really a lot of guess and test to start, and then you start to learn what you like and what you don't like. All right, let's see. Jude, hey, ZVL on TikTok for a bit before I switch to YouTube. Awesome, sounds good, Jude. Train Boy, what KR shoes would you recommend? I gotta check. I forget the name of their current main shoe. They change their names once in a while. Their high performances are really good. Those ones. No, not those. God, they have so many shoes. The Epics are really good in my opinion for being cheaper. I always liked the TPU Revivals. I had those for like 3 seasons. The high performance ones are all really good. I would recommend sticking with those. The rest of them are a little weaker. If you want to spend an arm and a leg, the hypes are phenomenal. The Fiesta Ghosts are good. I didn't realize those were 230 though. Man, that is pricey. Yeah, the TPU Revivals are good. They have a lot of most of their shoes are very, very similar. So you're going to find a lot of really good shoes from them. Let's see. Brian just got an IQ Ruby, looking to ball up from that. Road Warrior is a ball up. Otherwise, Zen 25 will be your 2 best. And we have, yes, so that is a good reminder, though. The IQ Tour Ruby is gone. If you haven't seen my video from this last weekend, I believe I had dropped videos on Sunday saying that the IQ Tour Ruby is gone. They're very hard to find right now. A few people were able to find them on random websites online, though, so you might be able to snag a couple more, but it is gone, and hopefully there's a new one coming soon. Franchise, hit the like button. Yes, make sure to hit the like button. It helps me out a ton. It's a really good way to support me. And then it gets the video to more and more lovely bowlers like all of you. Like every single one of you. Earth God, I have the KR Strike Force Ignite. So comfy. They are. Yeah, the any KR Strike Force shoe is arguably one of the more comfy shoes on the market. If you want comfort, those are the way to go. Sando, you demand. Hey, thanks, man. Train Boy, what do you think about the Storm Black Solution? A pro shop is selling it for 150. I don't know what that ball is. Storm Black Solution. The Solution line seemed iffy. It was super strong if I remember right. Not insanely strong, but NRG solid. It's going to be a strong smooth ball. If you want a cool strong smooth ball, that's a good play. James, probably going to be practicing on the Mexico City pattern. Have you bowled on that one? No, man, you guys are making me Google a lot today. Mexico City oil pattern. I do not know that one. We're going to look up the 43 footer. The 45 footer only has 25 mils. This one looks newer though. 43 feet, 25 mils, maybe not. Either way, it's long. You're going to want to play in. 100% you're going to play in. Kelvin, I have the GB5 and Optimum Idol. Is Rocktar's too similar? I think it is. I think it's a little too close, but that's really up to you. If you have differences between the GB5 and the Idol, you might be able to put the Rockstar below the Idol line. That would be the best place for it. I got to turn down my volume so you guys don't keep hearing a big dinging. Kind of funny. Let's see. Hey, Geek, what's going on? How you doing? Ace, I love my SST8 power frame. Yeah, I'm not hating my Dexters right now. They're very durable, like insanely durable. The KRs for me ripped a little bit pretty quickly. They're just not made with as nice of material, as premium of like quality leather material, but they are comfier by a landslide. Yofo, when choosing a ball, which do you choose for a burnt house shot versus heavy oil? So in general, when you're on heavy oil, you're going to want solid and you're going to want asymmetrical. Those are going to be your 2 best friends. When you're on the burn, you're going to want symmetricals and pearls or shiny balls. My 3G racers run true to size. Okay, perfect. So 3G probably runs pretty close. A bowling facilities frown on bowling barefoot. They do. You are correct. They do indeed do that. Let's see, Lil Crown. Do you think level and attention star is a good combo? I think it can be. They're very different bowling balls, so that is fair. Ace Sight, it was Darren Tang on Twitch last time. Yeah, and then Darren picks Wednesday. Who knows? Ryan Barnes is probably going to go live tonight, knowing him. So it's great. Hey, bowling with the Fef. I'm the jerk who'll be on next Wednesday. You are too? Oh, Fef, you jerk. No way. No, I was looking at Bowler's Paradise. Are you? Who do you have next Wednesday? Man, I didn't know you also had somebody. You were also going live next Wednesday. What do you have next Wednesday? Jeez, everybody's live on Wednesday. Wednesdays make sense. It is a better day to live stream, right? Middle of the week. Usually a lot of the bigger leagues are on Thursdays across the country, but like, damn. Jonathan, looking to get a new ball, Phase AI or Attention Star? I might get both, but what do you recommend? I recommend the Attention Star. Attention Star works for more people. The AI is still good, but it's better if you're more up the back of it, where the Attention Star is better just for a wider range of people. Let's see. Mickey, I love your videos and have a question. Oh, ask away, Mickey. Absolutely ask away. Caleb, thank you for the share on TikTok. For the record, everybody, I am live on both on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Twitch. I am trying to get to every single comment that I can, but it is 3 different chat streams that we're going through. So bear with me a little bit if I don't get to your comment too quickly, but we're going to be bouncing kind of between. So if you don't see a comment I'm talking about, it's probably on the other platform. But let us keep on going. Sam Paul, always a pleasure listening to you. Yeah, ask a question away, Sam, if you got one. Ben, can you tell me the maybe differences between the 78 and the Black Hammer? Yes. The Black Hammer is better. Now, the Black Hammer is actually a smaller core, and it acts like just a longer and smoother purple hammer. The IQ78 is unique. It's longer and smoother than the Black Hammer, and it locks up more, which means it's very flat towards the pocket. It doesn't really round off of a spot as well. It's a little more, little tougher to score with the 78 for most people. If you're a super high rev rate, you could probably strike with it. I know Chris Barnes adores it. A lot of people who are very up the back of the ball like that one a little bit more, where the Black Hammer just fits for more people. It's kind of like Attention Star versus Zen 25, or sorry, Phase AI versus Zen 25, where like not as many people are good with the Phase AI, but the Zen 25 just matches up better with like everybody. Whoa, I just got a text about a guy drilling a Road Warrior. That's going to be awesome. Also, I need them in wide train bowl. Yeah, wide, everybody has those, so you should be good. Caleb, thoughts on the Storm Equinox? The Equinox is actually pretty good. It is exactly what they marketed it for. It's for cliffed oil patterns, so house shots, or later in the day in transition. It's a stronger ball than you'd expect, though. It is closer to a Harsh Reality Pearl than it is to an Attention Star, so be ready for that. First Sentient Roomba, what's going on, man? What's your favorite ball of all time? Phase 2, by far a Phase 2. Also, what's going on, Color, over on the Twitch side? What is going on? Jaybird, what's going on? Always Dead, finally made alive. Also, Always Dead, 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I just noticed that. I'm a terrible streamer. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Welcome in, Brian, Chuck, 619 Cam, JOD got me, and Billy M. Enjoy the memberships, enjoy the ad-free viewing and the other perks that come with it. Thank you so much again, Dead. Welcome, welcome. Yes, so a KR bowling ball. Crazy. KR is coming out with new bowling balls. They are very entry level. Benji Martinez, PBA, I think he has PBA regional titles, I believe. He threw a few shots on a YouTube video from KR, and the ball doesn't hook much. He's playing like 3rd or 4th arrow, but he's throwing it super slow with a high rev rate and throwing it at the gutter. So it's going to hook from there. I mean, he could throw a plastic ball and make that thing hook, but it is very entry level, even though the core is really strong. So time will tell. It comes out in June. Now, the interesting thing I mentioned in the video, and this might be a point of controversy, so apologies in advance, they look like pyramid bowling balls. They look identical to pyramid color schemes and colorways. Just pure speculation on my part. I saw them and like, wait a minute, I've seen those colorways, and I've seen, not the colorways, but I've seen those color swirls before. They're very unique. And it looked like a pyramid ball. So kind of interesting. You didn't know Pyramid is a very low, they're a lot smaller bowling ball company. They make bowling balls. They're usually very hard bowling balls and not that great. They're online only, so you don't really see them all that much. Jaybird, what are your thoughts on comparing the symmetrical solids? What do you have? Sublime Focus, Stealth Mode, Troublemaker, and a Rockstar. So, in my opinion, the Stealth Mode hooks the earliest, and then it is the Sublime Focus, and then it is the Rockstar, and then the Troublemaker at the end. That is the order of how strong they are, and generally smoothness is like that too. So the Stealth Mode is the smoothest, and then the Sublime Focus, then the Rockstar, then the Troublemaker is how I see it. Hey, Arbles, what's going on? Let's see. Robbie Gift, what's your opinion? I think I hit the Equinox one already. Big B, I have the TPU revivals, but they aren't wide enough. Oh, interesting. That's good to know. Red Speedy Gonzalez, 3D offset or a stealth mode. I really like both of them are fantastic right now. It's two of the better dull bowling balls from Brunswick right now. You can't really go wrong with both. The 3D is going to be a little better for people with lower rev rates or higher speed. So keep that in mind as you look at it. Horst has a question. Horst, ask away. I got to get through a couple more though. Let's see. I see Chris. I've been throwing the 78U in league. Nice. Love it. Redline Go. What part of Minnesota are you from? I am in southern Minnesota. I'm in very, very southern Minnesota. And Earth God, thank you for the 23 roses. Appreciate that. Caleb, anything a little less sharp than the Black Widow Mania? Scorpion Strike is going to be longer and a little smoother. A lot of things are going to be less sharp than the Mania. Almost every ball on the market is going to be less sharp than the Mania. The Mania goes sideways at the end of the pattern. That thing is super sharp. Let's see. Earth God, how do you know where your pins should be? I just bought the Equinox. Would you suggest a 5-inch pin? I'd say between 4.5 and 5-inch pin, yes. So what you need to do is first get your positive access point from your pro shop. There's also a really good video that Andrew Anderson puts on, specifically him. His is fantastic, where he shows you how to find your positive access point. And then once you have that, your pro shop can put that kind of a layout on the ball. Let's see, Brent, what is the typical lifespan in games for a ball? It really depends on the bowling ball. It can be a couple hundred games. It could be a couple thousand games. An IQ Tour seems to never die. Like, that ball just lives forever. It's a zombie. Whereas a super strong Asym solid probably will be gone within 200 to 300 games because it just absorbs oil quicker. So it really depends on the ball. And then if you rejuve, a rejuve usually gives you about 50 to 100 more games before it completely poops out on you. Geek, love that you posted a video about bowling not being easy and then following up posting a 300. It was such bad timing, dude. So for anyone who didn't see, over on YouTube, I posted a video. I adored the video, in my opinion, very biased, but I had a lot of fun making it and talking about it with people. Is bowling too easy nowadays? Because there's been a recent 900, there's been an 899. I just saw an 879 that got posted. So crazy high scores, which is awesome. But so I posted a video saying, no, bowling is not too easy nowadays. That's usually the biggest comment under these posts is like, oh, bowling's too easy. Back in my day, it was a lot harder. Like, well, yes, it was harder to get honor scores, but to be a good bowler, it was easier. There was much less you cared about, much less you focused on. And it got a lot of really good comments, honestly, a lot of positive reception. But then yesterday I was practicing. I tested out a new span and I shot 300 in practice, which I was not trying like to go for score or anything. The last like 2 shots I did, but I was trying to fix some physical game things. So yeah, Geek, really bad timing on me doing that. Drink of the day, by the way, Arnold Palmer, Arizona iced tea. I needed a little less caffeine today, and this is fantastic. Country boy, what's a good budget asymmetrical ball for a newer bowler? The outer limit solid is super cheap right now. It's like 150. That's probably going to be your cheapest asym that you can find right now. Let's see, Brian, will the Zen 25 give me a similar shape to the Ruby? It will not. It's going to be a bit earlier. It's going to be a good amount earlier than that Ruby. Ace, my soul's finally wearing out after a year on my SST8s. That is not that long. That's interesting. Caleb, what do you think of the Storm Equinox? We hit that one a couple times. Bowling with a FEF. Only 2 people know at this point. Oh, perfect. I am excited to see what it is, FEF. I'm very excited. Dan, I'm a one-handed righty. How does my arsenal look? You have a gem, an XL, an Axiom, an Idol, a DNA coil, and a Zen 25. Ooh, you have a stronger arsenal, but I really like it. Yeah, it's a little bit stronger. You might need a weaker Pearl Ball in there, like a Road Warrior, but otherwise you look good. Black Star Piece, sorry to keep bugging you about info on the Eiffel Tower pattern. No worries, man. But now it'll look like I should be using all Asym pearls, but sand them down. Oh, but now I was told that I should use all Asym pearls. You should never use only one type of ball. You should have a lot of them on standby. I would not sand all of your pearls. I'd sand one. Have one ready for that situation, but don't have all of them in the same spot. Abe, is there any info on the HIH revelated ball? Oh, the hit it harder ball? Not a clue. I have a guy I used to bowl against who bowls with him and knows him pretty well. I should really send a message to him to see. I know nothing. I don't know where he made it, how he made it, if he bought like the stuff for it. I have no idea. I have no clue how he did it. I'm very happy for him. Don't get me wrong. Super happy and excited to see how the ball rolls, but I have no idea where he got the money to do that or whatever the case may be or anything about the ball in general. Markel bowling on a 48-foot ratio, 6-1, 34 mils. That's a lot of oil. You're going to have a very tight break point. You're going to be playing in a very tight break point with a big ball. Caleb, how do you know what pound ball to use? So if it's your first ball and you're a youth bowler, what we do is we go 10% of your body weight. So if you're 80 pounds as like an 8-year-old or something, I don't have a kid. I don't know the regular weight for a child. We're just going to go with an 80-pound 8-year-old. Then you'd be throwing an 8-pound ball is a good place to start. If you're an adult, I would recommend starting with 13 or 14 and then going up to 15 later on. Ben, we hit that one. Oh, wait. Can you tell me some of the differences between the 78 and Black Hammer? Yeah, I already hit that one. Alexander Glover, I have an Attention Star pin down and a Sublime pin up. Any suggestions? Those two balls are going to be really, really close. You might need a smooth ball to join them, like in a Summit Ascent would be good because you are very rev dominant. Let's see. Thoughts on the stealth mode? Currently throwing the low flare and loving it. The stealth mode is going to be a much stronger version of the low flare. It's going to be like a step to a 2 steps above the low flare. It does look really good right now. Tim Foy loves it. Dom Barrett threw it on the TV show and it looked awesome. So I think the stealth mode is good. The original stealth was awesome. So it was kind of expected that the mode was going to be really good because it's virtually a remake. Not identical, but virtually. Let's see, Yofo. ZVL is my go-to live stream. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Love you, Yofo. A&J Dunn just got a Mesmerize. First new ball in a few years. What would you pair with it? I think a Vaporize fits really, really well. That is basically a Pearl version of it. Otherwise, if you want to go a ball down, you could go like a GB5. Would be really good too. Brad Staten, you have an Attention Star, Optimum Pearl, Ion Max, and UC3. Would a phase 2 fit to add? Yes, absolutely. You could have said you have 38 bowling balls. Phase 2 still fits. Phase 2 should not be in everyone's arsenal, but it does fit yours very, very well. All right, Always Dead, we'll get to you in a second. So quick reminder, thank you everybody for hanging in so far. We are answering any and all bowling questions that you guys have. We're going to talk about some new bowling news that's going on. We just had a PBA event that just got completed. Shout out EJ and Motive in general for whacking them in the first 4 events. 75% of the wins in the first little leg of the season were from Motive staffers, which is crazy. Granted, 2 of them were named EJ Tackett, but still. So shout out EJ, shout out Motive. We're going to talk about KR Strike Force coming out with a couple new bowling balls. We don't have any new bowling ball releases that are newly announced because this is bowling ball release week. We have like 5 new bowling balls dropping this week. We have the Rockstar, we have the Stealth Mode, the Hypnotize, the Columbia Piranha Pearl, and another ball that I forgot. Oh man, what is this? Oh, Criterion Hybrid. Criterion Hybrid 2. So a lot of bowling balls got released. So thank you guys. Make sure to drop some subscriptions. Make sure to drop some follows. Best way to support me is 1, buying our beautiful bowling chamois on the DH Lab 3D website. Go check that out. They turned out really good. We have about 20 left is what I was told. So really appreciate if you guys go out and buy one of those. They are really good chamois too. I think that's about it. So let's keep going. A lot of people hanging out right now. Thank you everybody who's hanging out. We got 75 over on YouTube. We've got like 30 over on TikTok. We've got a handful on Twitch. So let's keep answering all of those questions, every single one of them. If I miss your question, make sure to retype it. And then if I end up getting to it and then seeing your later one, I'll just skip it. It's all good. But if I didn't answer your question, just re-enter it. Don't spam by any means. Our mods will make sure that you don't do that. But if I did miss it, make sure to just put it again and I'll make sure to answer it. But let us keep going. Always Dead recently got an Ultimate Defender and a Beyond. Let's see. First pin down and short pin layout for me. I love the motions of them. Good. I like that you're experimenting with layouts. That's a good idea. I always recommend that. Beans, what's going on, Beans? Big C, can you tell me about pins? How would a 5-inch pin be on an Equinox? 5-inch pin would be really good on an Equinox. So the pin to PAP distance is like a bell curve. So you have the distance at 0 inches pin to PAP. Don't do that. Really, you should have between a 2 and a 6-inch pin to PAP. So between about 3 and 4 inches, the ball is going to be the strongest. But then after 4 inches, the ball gets weaker and weaker the further you get away from it. I always recommend 4 to 5-inch pins. That's most common among the industry. So 5-inch would be really good. It'll make the ball a little cleaner. Always Dead. I thought the same thing. They look like the path from Pyramid. Yes, exactly. They are nearly identical numbers, but they are different core shapes. But the numbers are almost identical to the Path Rising series. And the colors are very close for the KR Strike Force ball. Brian, thank you, Always Dead. Billy, what's going on, Billy? Thanks, Always Dead. Always Dead is the absolute GOAT. James, did you see the pic of a possible new Venom? It looked black and purple. No, I did not. I did not see that yet. Where'd you see it at, James? Let's see. Revs, what's going on? Let's see. Let's scroll. I'm going to scroll a little bit up on TikTok. Adam W. Throwing the NU, thinking of getting the Black Widow Pearl. That's a good option. It'll be a lot different, but that's pretty good. Lee, what layout would you recommend for a bowler with low speed and 400 revs? You're going to want to go longer pin to PAP distances. Like I was just mentioning, I think 5 to 5.5 inches for you will be really good. Our bowls, no school tomorrow because of snow. Hey, that's not bad. We just actually had schools canceled in my area over the last couple of days, or it was yesterday. I think they were all canceled because it was -20 outside. We love Minnesota. It's great. Love it. Earth God, you are welcome. Geek, I miss Andrew Anderson throwing Motive, but he's throwing Storm so well. Ricky, thank you for the 10 coins and the tiny diny over on TikTok. No, I mean, Andrew is dominating right now. He is absolutely dominating. He's doing a great job. Mike, when I bowled my 300, I was a sub, walked into a new house with a 165 average and shot 718. I love that. The 900 bowler is from Buffalo. Nice. That is awesome. Hey, Maribeth's hanging out. What's going on, Maribeth? Dropping 18, 20 roses from Maribeth Baker. Go check out the Maribeth Baker page. Great place. ADHD Whiskey had good luck with the Hazmat Hybrid until it cracked. Oh, man, I'm sorry for that. That sucks. It's never fun when a ball cracks. Man, what is a good switch from that? The Hazmat was so unique. It was like a 900 Global Sublime. So if you want to stick with Brunswick, oh, what is there? The No Doubt is probably the closest thing from Radical. I talk about it I plan on talking about it in a future video. I actually do have it in I have a fun video called State of the Brands, where I wear a suit and tie and I run like a State of the Union type meeting presentation, but about all the bowling brands. And I tell Brunswick, please make some stronger pearl balls, medium shiny balls. We need more of them. So there really isn't much. Yeah, No Doubt is probably your best bet if you go Brunswick. If you don't want Brunswick, Optimum Idol Pearl. Definitely an Optimum Pearl. Geek, 20 roses. Dang, you got rich friends. 20 roses, I believe 20 cents. 65 roses is 65 cents. So it's not too rich. Yofo, almost every time I throw my ball lands 5 boards right of where my eyes are looking. That is okay. You are probably right eye dominant. Everybody has a miss. There is nobody that there's very few people, I should say, not all that many people that have a spot that they look at and they hit it perfectly. Usually you're just a little bit off. For me, I'm 3 boards left all the time. If I'm looking at 10, I hit 13 on my good shots. Just that's how it is. It's okay. If it's consistent, a-okay. Not a problem there. I see Gus. Who followed. Thank you, Gus. What's a really high hooking ball mid-budget? GB5 is going to be the earliest and strongest ball for the price. I believe it's $130 before drilling. Maribeth with 10 tiny dinies and Ricky with a let 'em cook. Thank you guys so much for all the gifts on TikTok. And I saw a hand heart from Maribeth. Oh my God, there's so much. And I don't understand the gift system at all on TikTok. I understand YouTube's. I don't understand TikTok's. And I have a cowboy hat on TikTok with the hat and music. Thank you, Maribeth. Just throwing things out there. Revs, let's chat offline about starting a channel, but don't know where to start when it comes to adding music and text. Oh, for sure. Absolutely, we can do that. Yeah. Ironically, we're going to hard launch this here. We have officially started a ZVL Bowling Discord channel. I was fixing it up all day Monday. I am not confident that I did it correctly, that it's all set up properly, but I do have a Discord channel that is now live where we're going to talk all things bowling or non-bowling, really anything. So any Discord lovers or Discord fans, or you want the most access to me, that is probably going to be the place to do it. So I have a link out in my link tree. I'll be posting it in a few more places. I am now getting a phone call. I'm going to not answer that right now, but I do have a Discord, which is super fun now. I will be hard launching it probably in the next couple of days. Let's see. Big B, do I have my arsenal in the correct order strength-wise? Attention Star, Summit Ascent, Exponent, Hustle USA, Purple Hammer, and an Ice. Yes, you do. You have it in the perfect order. Absolutely. Good job. Revs on the left, I'm drinking the same thing. Ace, having less caffeine. I know, it's weird. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Why am I getting hit up so much? Robert Throop, your thoughts on the Brunswick Hypnotize? The Hypnotize is insanely strong. That ball is super, super strong. It's going to need a lot of oil for most people to throw it, especially if you're rev dominant. If you're speed dominant, it might be a really good ball if you just want something that's going to hook. Walmart just... So that is what I think of the Hypnotize. It is very, very strong, too strong for a rev dominant bowler, but is going to be pretty good on long or pretty good on heavy. Let's see. What is a good entry-level two-handed ball for short patterns from Galactic? Entry-level two-handed ball for short patterns, something like a Tropical Surge Solid. That one's really, really good. Otherwise, you could go with like a Hammer Raw Solid. Those are going to be two good options. And Mateo bought his first new ball, the Rhino Pro. Hey, congrats. Hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy. I see Bohms. Ion Pro versus Phase 2. It's a really good question. The Phase 2 is both stronger and earlier. The Ion Pro is supposed to be the baby between the Phase 2 and the IQ Tour. So it is weaker than the Phase 2. Nick, would you believe that Pat Dombrowski is my uncle? I wouldn't. I mean, probably. I have no way to disprove that at all, but Nick, I hope he is. He seems like a cool dude. Revs on the left, what you want to know? I bowled juniors with the guy. I can call him. That is awesome. Billy, I currently have Rotogrip Gem, Phase 2, Vibo, Ion Pro, Uproar. Ooh, that's an oldie. Do I have any gaps? Rotogrip Gem, Phase 2, Vibo, Ion Pro. I don't know what the Uproar is. I don't remember that ball, but you need a medium sharp ball if that Uproar isn't there. I'll Google it to check, though. Rotogrip. Uproar is on bowling this month. Oh, that's a solid, right? Oh, that's a pearl. Oh, that's more of a weak ball. That's more of a weak shiny ball. So I think you still need a medium shiny ball to fit. James D, looking for a new ball for my wife. She has a Trident Horizon, Venom Shock, and Super Rally. Looking for a motive piece. She has a Trident Horizon, Venom Shock, and a Super Rally. What is she... It depends how she throws it, James. If she's more speed dominant, I would go with like a stronger shiny ball, like a Nuclear Forge. If she's more rev dominant, I would go with like a Hyper Venom or a Primal Rage would be good. Let's see. Let me catch up over here. Goatrilla, any news on what will replace the Ruby? There is no news about the Ruby replacement so far. Nobody else in the industry has actually acknowledged that the Ruby is discontinued. I'm the only one, which is odd. I don't know why nobody talks about discontinued bowling balls. It's crazy to me. But no, nothing right now. I'm really still banking on an IQ2 or AI and then an IQ2 or AI Pearl maybe releasing at the same time. Storm, do it. If you need a good marketer, let me know. I don't know if I can do it, but I think it'd be great. But that would be my hope. So nothing so far. There is an IQ Sapphire that was released overseas a while ago. I'm hoping that's the next play. Let's see. Let's go to Flakes. What would you suggest for a one hand, no thumb, 500 plus rev, about 13 mile and half ball speed? You're going to need a very, very weak bowling ball. We got to boost that speed up for you. You are highly, highly rev dominant. So the only things you'll be able to keep on the right side of the head pin might be plastic. Otherwise, it might be the Raw series or the Surge series. Those are going to be your two best bets. Let's see. So many roses. Boss man, my ball's hitting the pocket a little too soon. Should I move boards or move up? I never recommend moving up or back on the approach. I would recommend practicing that to know if it works or not. I like moving left or right. You know that's going to work. If you're a bowler who's never tried moving up or back on the approach, try it and see if it lowers your ball speed or increases it. The idea is that if you get closer to the line, you're going to throw it slower. And if you're further from the line, you're going to throw it faster. For me, that doesn't work at all. It's where I hold the ball on my approach that matters. So I'd recommend left or right if you don't have time to practice. Anthony, what is an ideal 9-ball arsenal that I build around the Phase AI, Idle, Pearl, and Road Warrior? Oh, God. That is a lot, Anthony. I don't have time to go through all of those, unfortunately, with how many comments we have, but you're going to need a lot of solid balls because those are all pearls that you mentioned. Mike, I have a Phase 3, Hustle USA, Virtual Nano, and a Dynamic Swing. What should I add? I would recommend a stronger Pearl ball outside of the Phase 3. Something like an Attention Star, like the new Equinox. It looks like you like Storm a lot. If you want to go Brunswick, that would be like a Black Widow Mania. All right, let's keep going over on the other side of the aisle. What do you recommend for heavy oil? Radical, Motive, Deviate, Brunswick. Ion Max is my personal favorite right now. Also with the Jackal Onyx. Those two are really, really good for a lot of oil right now. Edward Washington, how close are the Ivory Pro and the new Piranha? They are very different. Well, not very. They're different. The Piranha is going to be both sharper and earlier than the Ivory Rhino. The Ivory Rhino is going to be weaker and smoother. Brian, could you suggest a 3-ball arsenal with the Ruby being the weakest? There's a lot you could throw in there. I would recommend like a medium smooth ball, like a Phase 2, Sublime Focus, Rockstar, and then as a strong sharp ball, like an Attention Star or an Equinox, or probably one of those two actually. And just based on you throwing a Ruby, I just assume that you would want more Storm stuff. Kyle Stark, what's the best control ball out there? NV Tour. NV Tour. Absolutely NV Tour. No question. NV Tour is the best control ball and sport ball on the market. James, go Team Motive. Team Motive is currently winning the battle of the brands right now. Kind of crazy. We didn't really expect that, but Team Motive is whacking them. I thought Team Deviate was the sleeper. They aren't doing good. Team Deviate is not crushing them. Oh, I see Revs, worth having both in the bag. What did you say, Revs? The Piranha is stronger. Yeah, the Piranha is stronger. You can have both in the bag. That's okay. TP, any tips for me not being consistent, hitting my mark? Using less muscle is always my recommendation. Always using less muscle. Earth God, I just looked at the Andrew Anderson video on PAP and the Pro Shop is not doing that. That's a good thing to know is Andrew's video is the most common and basic way to find PAP by far. The only unique things that he does that a Pro Shop might not is sanding the ball or hitting it with a sanding pad first. I didn't know that was a thing. It's a really cool idea because then you can see the oil lines better. Otherwise, everything he does is as standardized as possible. So if your Pro Shop doesn't do that, it might not be your PAP. Geek, same with the Motive Pride Dynasty. Yes, so a couple bowling balls that have been discontinued recently have been the IQ Tour Ruby, the Pride Dynasty, and the Tank Rampage Pearl. Those are the 3 balls that have been discontinued in the last month so far. Let's see, Black Star Piece, a very generous bowler who gave me 3 undrilled balls, a Helios, a UC3, and a Revenant. Wow, really good bowling balls. What 2LS layout would I recommend? I would go like a 4 1/4 inch pin on the Helios. So like 4 1/4 by 4 by 3.5. My phone has not stopped going off. Jesus. Yeah, I am getting absolutely peppered with stuff. What is going on? Phone, slow down. It's been 12 people. Jeez. I would go 4.5 by 4 by 3 for the Helios. Rubicon UC3. I'd honestly go like 4 by 4 by 4 would be pretty decent. Revenant, probably 4 3/4 by 3 by 2. Try those out. That's a lot of numbers. Apologies. Always dead. I need short pin and pin down. Highly rev dominant. Yeah, that's a good idea to use that then. Zach Drizzle, thoughts on the Pitch Black? It is the second best urethane on the market. Purple Hammer being the best. All right, let's keep going. My TikTok keeps resetting on me. Malicious, you have a Sub-Zero Forge, a Jackal Red, Crimson Jackal probably, and Radical. Nothing Radical. Do you have a translation? No, and just Radical. Any recommendations? Because my ball now is too light. I would recommend a Pearl Ball. I don't know what the Radical Ball is, but go with like something medium shiny. Go check out one of my 6-ball Arsenal guides and grab one of those. Gus, I only have a spare ball on the phase 2. I'd recommend a shiny ball. Go with like a Zen 25 or a Road Warrior or something like that. Just Nick, Storm IQ, best and most versatile bowling ball ever made. Fight me. It is one of the goats. I won't say it's the goat. It is the IQ Tour is one of the goats. So the IQ Tour, the Venom Shock, and the Phase 2 are 3 bowling balls that I recommend people try at least once in their life, just because they are so unique in such a good way. Tyler, is the Mesmerize stronger than the Hypnotize? It is. Yes, it'll be much, much stronger. Not much stronger, but it will be stronger. Hey, Chuck MP, what's going on? Steven Schaefer, I need a new ball, fresh two-hander, very rev dominant. I don't like SPI. I would go with like a Scorpion Low Flare or a Venom Shock. I think will be your 2 best bets. Venom Shock is the GOAT. I think the Scorpion Low Flare is awesome. You're going to need stuff that doesn't hook an insane amount, so try those. Hey, Horst over on Twitch. What ball would you recommend if I only have a phase 2 in the road? Nothing for you, Horst. I think you are perfect the way you are with just a phase 2 and you're stupid the road. That's all you need. Apparently you whack it with it. OA, I'm a rev dominant 14 pounds. I bought a 15-pound phase 2. It always hooks too early. How can I adjust? Keep throwing it. The phase 2 for the first like 20 shots that you throw it is one of the strongest bowling balls ever created. After it gets a couple games in it, you're good to go. Then it actually acts like what a phase 2 is supposed to act like. Let's see. Check. I'm actually a small channel, 450 subs. Nice. Awesome. Good to see, Check. ADHD Whiskey. For the Hazmat Hybrid, I was considering an Ethos Hybrid. That would work. I would go with the Ethos Hybrid instead. Let's see. Tony. Primal Rage and the Primal Shock and the Lethal. What is needed? I kind of like that arsenal right now. I would go something weak, like a Venom Shock would be good, or a Max Thrill Solid. All right, let me catch up over on TikTok quick. We are at Brandon. Closest ball to the exotic gem, Harsh Reality Pearl. Harsh Reality Pearl is going to be the closest thing to an exotic. Z, UC3 Phase AI and an IQ Ruby. Something for heavier oil. Go with like a Rotogrip XL or an Ion Max. Malicious, we hit. Train Boy, should I buy? My arsenal's a Phase 2, IQ Ruby, and a Trailblazer. I don't have an Asym Pearl. You have access to a Vibo. I think that's an okay choice. If that's cheap for your pro shop, I think it's a really good choice then. Let's see. It's just Alex. Very rev dominant, 2-handed lefty. You have an Absolute Power, a Phase 2, a Summit Ascent, an Ion Pro, IQ Tour, Road Warrior, Purple Hammer. Wow, that's a lot. And yes. Yeah, you have a very well-rounded arsenal. ADHD Whiskey. Patrick Dombrowski 100% seems like somebody's uncle. He does scream. He does have uncle vibes, doesn't he? That does fit really well. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. All right, we're gonna keep going on a lot of comments, but quick little stopping point of thank you guys so much for hanging out so far. We got a ton of people hanging out on all our platforms. Make sure to drop a follow or a subscription. Make sure to like the video. Helps me out a ton. Helps me make more bowling content for you guys. I've been in bowling a long time, so I'm a pro shop guy, numbers nerd with bowling, throwing a billion bowling balls. So all these suggestions are coming from a fairly knowledgeable spot. Otherwise, thank you guys for checking it out. We are currently live on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. So I'll be jumping between chats all over the place. So be ready for that. If I'm not hitting your comment, I'm probably reading one from a different chat. So let's start. Brooke, I had a tournament this past weekend, averaged 205. Nice. Got 21st place. All right, all right. Good job, Brooke. Love to see that. Love to see that. Memories, hoping you have a good stream. I was wondering if the motive lethal venom and the Ion Pro can be a 1-2. Numbers wise, they're almost identical. They are very different though on the lanes. The lethal venom is much earlier and smoother than the Ion Pro. So yeah, it is. That would be the first ball. Ion Pro would be the second ball. Absolutely. Wes, how can I get a UFO alert since it's got discontinued? Wes, really the only option you have is eBay. You're gonna be paying a pretty penny though, but they do exist on eBay. That's about your only chance to find one. Reese, what do I replace my pitch black with? Another pitch black or a purple hammer? Those are really your only two options. Derek, is 2 800s and 3 300s good at 16? Oh, absolutely. That is awesome. Those are, yeah, really good sets for only being 16. Is the Mesmerize stronger than Hypnotize? Yes, it is, Tyler. Yeah. So, yeah, if there are times where I have answered your question already if you're still posting it, so make sure to listen through a lot of the other comments so that you catch your question, because I do fly a little bit through some of these questions. Teddy, what does pin down mean? Good question. So when people say pin down, it means that there's a pin on a bowling ball. I don't have a ball within arm's reach right now, unfortunately. But it means that the pin, it's a circle on the bowling ball that shows where the top of the core is. That is underneath your fingers. Now that's stereotypically where a pin down bowling ball is. Now, what pin down does is it makes the ball hook later and makes it smoother down lane. It doesn't make it as violent when it sees friction. So it isn't as sharp, doesn't go as hard left or as hard right, depending on if you're a lefty or righty. And pin down is usually better for playing straighter. Pin up is usually better for either straighter or playing further left. Pin down is stereotypical and can be different depending on the bowler. For me, a pin down ball is where my pin is inside of the ring or middle finger. For other people, pin down is in the middle of their palm. It really depends on how you throw a bowling ball, but that's generally what it means. All right, let's keep going. Jared, what is the best vibe ball? Arctic Vibe. Absolutely Arctic Vibe. Horst, I do want a different ball, and you love the Road. You might like a Road Warrior, Horst. You might really like the Road Warrior. Let's see. Sarah Capilla, what is the most common mistake you see two-handers make? Two of the biggest ones for two-handers is one, getting enough speed. So what a lot of two-handers, especially newer ones, don't understand is you have to bend a lot as a two-hander. Your back has to be not perpendicular to the floor, but you do have to bend a lot because that's the only way you get a backswing. Your backswing is solely based on your left hand being able to get the ball back to a good spot. And that's the only way you get speed. And you also have to keep the feet moving. But while doing all that, you need your hand to not get to the side of the bowling ball, because one big thing two-handers do is their ball roll is super terrible, and the ball either goes sideways when it sees friction or it never hooks because they don't get through the ball the right way. So that's one of the biggest things that two-handers have problems with that I always notice. Too Tall Bowling, love the name still. I was at my pro shop a few days ago to order a Ruby, and the Storm rep happened to be there. Confirmed the Ruby is going away. Yeah, so I do not say my sources for where I hear that bowling balls get discontinued. I have a couple, a lot of ways to find out. But yes, the people I talk to are about as credible as you can physically get in the bowling world for when bowling balls get discontinued. So I've never lied or never had no proof behind any of the bowling balls that I say get discontinued. Even when Mikey Tang comes into my comments and says I'm a liar, shout out that from the gem when the gem got discontinued. But no, I have been 100% accurate on every ball that's been discontinued so far. So it does suck. It absolutely sucks. But I try to get you guys that info as soon as possible so you can actually buy the ball. The one issue with bowling is pro shops get told when a ball gets discontinued, but consumers don't. Consumers don't get told anything. So I try to make it so that consumers know when a bowling ball is discontinued so you can actually go buy one so that pro shop guys just don't buy all of them, because that is usually what happens. Keaton, rebuilding my tournament bag. You have an effect, a real time, and a phase 2, and a lethal venom, and a Zen 25. Oh, nice. That's a really good arsenal right now. I honestly really like it. I don't see any gaps right now, Keaton. I really like what you have right now. Horse, that's not a rock star. You could also go with a rock star horse. That is an option. Jordan Simons, I have a Black Widow 3.0 and a Mania. Would a Zen 25 go well with those? It would. It absolutely would. Geek, would you ever consider going two-handed? Yes. I honestly should. I want to play with it a little bit more because it does feel better and it is a little more consistent for me. The problem is I'm so tall. So I want to play with it, but I'd never fully switch, I don't think, because I am very, very competitive. So I want to take any competitive advantage I can get. And if I throw the ball better two-handed, then we do it. But no, otherwise I'll be sticking one-handed for a while. Absolute while. Joel, IQ Tour AI was approved by USBC in December. Yes. So it is overseas right now. That's probably why you saw it on tour. There is no word of it being domestic release. It did get released overseas though. That's the one that got approved. Don't forget to take your drink break. Shout out Arnold Palmer for having amazing iced tea. Let's see. The crazy Spud. I love that name, man. If I have a strike ball I like already and a plastic spare ball, what type of ball should I look into getting? It really depends on when you notice your favorite ball is not looking good. If it doesn't look good early when you're bowling and it looks good later, you're going to need a stronger ball. But it sounds like you want a weaker ball. So you're saying you have the one. I would go with like a Scorpion Strike. There's going to be a big difference between the two, or an Ebonite Real Time. One or the other I think will look really good for you because that'll be a big enough step down. Let's see. Let's keep on going. Shaboopy. I love the name. When is a good time to get your ball de-oiled and polished? I have 100+ games under my Eternity Pearl. I wouldn't yet. That's still a little too early. I'd recommend continue to always wipe the oil off, everybody. Just quick little FYI. Always wipe the oil off your bowling balls, whether it be after every shot, every other shot, every 5 shots. Make sure you're wiping the oil off because otherwise the ball absorbs all of it. And if it absorbs all of it, it dies quicker. So that's how a bowling ball dies is it absorbs too much oil. So always be wiping your bowling balls off. Also, don't leave them in the freezing cold or the blazing heat because that's going to make them die quicker also. Quick FYI. FYI from Papa Zach. Let's see. It's just Alex is highly rev dominant. Oh, we already hit yours, Alex. It does look really good. I really like what you have. Let's see. Johnny Persky, you need a benchmark ball. Venom Shock or Lethal Venom? Venom Shock. 100%. Lethal Venom looks great. Venom Shock has a better reputation behind it so far. It's been around so much longer. Iron Man Jeep, thoughts on the Black Widow White Pearl 2.0? It is awesome. It is absolutely incredible. Any Black Widow Pearl ball looks really good. That is, in my opinion, is better than the solid versions of the Black Widows. Let's see. Geek, also only wipe it off using an official ZVL bowling chamois, dhlab3d.com, in the descriptions of everything. They are really good. But no matter what chamois you use, wipe your bowling balls off. It makes them last longer. Let's see. Zach, I want a different ball from Horst. I got rid of everything else. So I only have a phase 2 in the road. I want to know what would fit. So Horst, I think I know you're have a billion revs, but I think you would do well with something that's asymmetric and Pearl, especially if you want to get into tournaments. And then like another solid ball, like a Summit Ascent, Ion Pro, IQ Tour, something like that would be really good too. James had to pause the live. She is speed dominant and a high tilt. She has a good amount of lift too. We're working on getting that under control. I would go a stronger ball then, like a Nuclear Forge, James. Tactless Word Ace. Used my ZVL chamois for the first time in League last Thursday. Worked better than my usual Rotogrip chamois. Hey, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, the quality of these things, in my opinion, is as good, if not a little better, than the ball companies. So I think that's a good sign. Now, it does sound bad for me because, of course, I'm trying to sell them on the DH Lab website. I virtually get zero money out of it, by the way. I make, full transparency, I don't make much off of them. I actually don't make almost anything off of them, but I just want you guys to have good chamois. Let's see. ZZZ, Jackal Onyx versus Ion Max. If you have a lot of revs, they're very much identical. Very similar bowling balls. The Jackal Onyx, I think, will be a little bit smoother for you. So it depends if you want smoother or a little bit more kick down lane. Zoe the Bowler. Last Saturday, I bowled my highest game of 258 with the Equinox. Nice, Zoe. Congrats. That's awesome. That is so good to hear. That is so good to hear. Bayou Bengal. I finished first in singles and team in my city tournament this past weekend. Nice. Use my winnings to pick up an Ion Max and an Attention Star. Hey, that's awesome. Congrats for the win. That is super huge. I did not take first in my singles and team event in city. I did not at all. I took like 5th. I thought I bowled better than I did, and I didn't. I did not bowl that great. We are actually almost caught up on YouTube. That is awesome. Johan, how do you drill pin down for a two-hander? Two-hander is very different. So two-hander, you have to use a 2LS layout system. So it's a little bit different. It's based on the third angle that you use. So, or the third number that you use in the 2LS layout system. The lower that number is, the more pinned down that ball will be. But the pin won't actually be under your fingers. If you put your pin under the fingers for a two-hander, the ball's not going to roll good. It is not. It would be like if a one-hander put the pin inside of their thumb. It doesn't work. All right, let's catch up over here. Earl the Pearl. You'd be a great live stream announcer for our next tourney. What state are you in? I am in Minnesota, but I would love to help. Yeah, Earl, hit me up if you have anything. I am 100% in. Whatever I need to do, I will be there. Give me a state to fly to. I need to use some vacation time. I haven't used any for like 3 whole weeks. Starting to shake a little bit. I've worked 5-day weeks. Ugh, gross. Christopher, looking to add something. Currently have the Phase 2, the Paragon, and the Extreme Envy. Phase 2, Paragon, Extreme Envy. You have a lot of solid balls. I'd recommend a Pearl one. I'd recommend something Pearl. Black Widow Mania is good. Attention Star is really good. Primal Rage Evolution is really good. Something like that would be fantastic. Let's see. Fly back to Berg. Fly back to Pittsburgh, Geek. Yeah, I'll get on that. I was just there. They're probably already sick. They're still sick of me, man. They've got to be sick of me down in Pittsburgh already. Love the content. Keep doing what you do. Hey, thank you, Earl. Appreciate it. Yeah, if that's an actual like legit offer, definitely hit me up in the DMs. I'd love to talk. Chilija, I love that name. High Road X and Purple Hammer. What should I get as a rev dominant league bowler? High Road X, that is a throwback. Also, I don't like talking about new viewer numbers and all that jazz, but we have over 100 people watching on YouTube right now. Thank you all so much who are out there. That is, I think, our 2nd time ever getting over 100 viewers. Thank you to everybody. Wow, that is really, really cool to see. That is so cool to see. Let's see. Let's get back into it. High Road X and Purple Hammer. You're going to want a shiny ball to go with it. I would recommend, I mean, a Road Warrior could be good, or a Hustle M&M could be really good for you too. Let's see. Let's keep going. James Jones. You have an Ebonite Emerge Hybrid, Polaris. Oh, Polaris Hybrid. Sorry, that's an oldie. Gem, RSTX2, Emotive Lead, Jackal Legacy, VIP Affliction. Ooh, you have a few older balls. That's okay, though. Any comment, good or bad? You have a lot of, well, you actually don't have a lot of similar stuff looking at it. Kind of. A few similarities, but a few differences. I would honestly recommend probably a stronger shiny ball to go above the RSTX2. Like an Equinox, like a Black Widow Mania, like a Raptor Rush, things like that would be good. All right, Yofo. When I started bowling, I bought the nicest ball I could find with the intention of only ever buying one ball in my life. Fast forward to today. I now have 8 balls in the closet and an annoyed wife. Hey, you know what? That is okay. I have I have all of them on the floor right now. Unfortunately, it's too dark in the room because of my lighting to actually see. I have 8 bowling ball boxes because I was trying to find an absolute power I had in the closet to drill up. I found it, by the way. Absolute power video is coming soon. But yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Earl will get in touch. All right, thanks, man. Have a good one to you too. Later. Thanks for hopping in. JEP, if I'm looking for a level down from a Rotogrip gem, would a Rockstar be a good option? Yes, it would. Absolutely. Blake, do you know Paul Fleming? No. Paul Fleming, the restaurateur, or the poet Paul Fleming? Or the guest author at Learning Forward, Paul Fleming? I don't, unfortunately. Sorry. The bowler? I do not know the bowler, Paul Fleming. I do not. Brian Getch, phase 2 or phase AI? Phase 2. 100% phase 2. John St. Andrea, does your long pattern arsenal also apply to higher volume? Route 6, yes, it does. It does apply for higher volume, higher or lower. The pattern you're bowling on, that 23 mils, is actually lower volume. That is a much lower volume than the average pattern, in my opinion. Maribeth, welcome back, by the way. I forgot to say that. Tyler, is the Mesmerize comparable to the Gem? Yes, it is. It is a little bit sharper than the Gem, though. So it's hooks in a similar spot, but it's a little bit sharper down lane. All right. Walt, best ball for pin down. Mesmerize, Ion Max, or 3.0. Honestly, all three are really good. So what pin down does is it lowers the differential of the bowling ball. And all three of those have very high differentials. So all three will be good. Daytona, any ideas for a strong, sharp, but solid bowling ball? Ooh. You're going to have to polish like an XL. Polishing an Ion Max actually is a good idea. Jackal Ghost, a shiny Jackal Ghost might fit that pretty well. Those are probably your only bets, unfortunately. There aren't many good Asym solids that can be shined and be really good. Oops, I'm breaking things. Did I say bread right? That does. How often should a ball be resurfaced? I would recommend every like 30 to 50 games to give it a mini resurface. I wouldn't go and pay the 25 bucks for it, but I would recommend getting it resurfaced every now and then. James, I got a burn mark on my ball when my ball got stuck in the return. The mark is in my track. Can it be sanded out? It can usually be cleaned out. It can usually just use some cleaner and it'll come off. Rubbing alcohol also works really, really well for it. Andrew, I'm in Minnesota as well. Hey, welcome to the cold tundra that we're in. Isn't it great? Isn't it great being negative 7,000 degrees every day? It's so fun. Oh, I love the cold. Things I've never said. Brandon, or no, what did Brandon say? Stealth mode or Rockstar? Stealth mode should be earlier and smoother, but it looks like the hype posted a comparison. Okay. I'd assume that should be what it is. The Rockstar is like is weaker than a lot of those strong, solid bowling balls. Supposed to be. Emphasis on supposed to be. Let's see. Iron Man Jeep with an asymmetrical pinup 2LS. Is the mass bias kick to the right or left? It really depends. Usually it can be a little bit left, but I would recommend the full layout before you figure that out. It usually is left a little bit further left. Bowling Brian, with the Equinox and Attention Star fit in the same bag? They could, but not recommended. They are a little too close in my opinion. I'd go one or the other. Brandon Gale, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Big B, this summer I went to learn how to throw a backup ball, specifically for 10 pins. Is there a particular ball type that would be best for this? Not really. Honestly, anything works just fine for that. Sorry, I just saw a troll comment that I need to remove on Twitch quick. Nobody clicked the link on Twitch. We are going to block that person. Get them out of here. All right. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, really anything can work for that, so that's not a problem. Hey, Bread Right. I'm Minnesota Well. You bowl CBAs. I do, but I didn't bowl one this last weekend. I got really lazy. I bowled Saturday for like 5 hours and just I didn't want to make an hour 45-minute drive to go bowl the CBA, but it looked fun. It was on Cheetah in a house that is awful on the gutter. So scores were all over. Shout out Dylan for winning, by the way. Rothanak, any new ball dropping? Not right now. There are really no hints on what new balls will be dropping. There are Brunswick balls releasing to what day is today? Wednesday, tomorrow. So tomorrow we have 4 Brunswick balls releasing. Friday we have a Rotogrip ball releasing, but then we don't have anything for probably 3 or 4 weeks. 5 or 6 weeks. Big Tyler, using a hammer effect, an optimum idle, and a dark web. Think about replacing the idle soon enough. Well, I would go phase 2. I would go phase 2 when you're replacing it. But otherwise, that's awesome. All right, let's catch back up over here. Let's see. I see Michael Lombard. Any tips on nationals going for the first time? First of all, congrats for going to nationals. Super fun time. I will have a YouTube video and TikTok going up soon about nationals. But in general, the patterns really are identical every year. They're slightly different, but not much. But any tips? Step 1, you need to play it as a team. You need to break down the lanes the proper way to make them easy. Otherwise, you make them impossible. 2, you want to start further right. The further right you can play, the better it usually is. You usually don't want to play the inside part of the lane because the pattern is dead flat in there. 3, stay relaxed. It's a very intense environment. Just like it seems very big and grandiose, but it's just bowling at the end of the day. So those are my 3 main tips. Let's see. Geek, we hit that. Frederick, I have a proton physics and a Vibo. I need a mid-level ball phase 2. Yes, absolutely. Walt, I'm so indecisive. I just need the right ball for my new ZVL Shammy. Did you say ZVL Shammy? On dhlab3d.com for $24 after shipping? You did. I'm such a sellout. God. I don't even make money on these things, man. I'm still trying to sell out. Ugh. Oh, God, I'm the worst. I am the absolute worst. Let's hit Johan. I really wish we had higher volume patterns in Swedish League. Oh, you're Swedish. Okay. So yeah, Europe, usually the lanes are in a little better position. They're a little less beat up, but yeah, they don't put out much oil out there, which is crazy. I know I had a viewer talk to me about their house shot and it was like 37 feet, which was crazy. So urethane is really good over there. Zombie Honda, that is a name. Wow, you win best name of the day. Congratulations to Zombie Honda. I love that. Just got back into bowling after like 20 years off. Throwing the X Factor, the Bolt, and you got a Road Warrior and Phase Shift. The new ones are pretty strong for house. Should I go urethane? I would go weaker. I would go with a Hustle. Hustle M&M might be a little better for you. Let's see. John St. Andrea. What tool do you use to live stream on multiple platforms? I use Restream. So on Restream, you can stream to 2 different platforms, but then what I do is I actually have my TikTok live studio. So TikTok has a specific app that they want you to live stream from, and then they end up pushing your live streams out a little bit more because TikTok is like that. So then I use that and a little virtual camera stuff to make that all work. So Restream, and then OBS to actually record. Keaton, I'm slightly rev dominant and tend to struggle with big balls like the Gem, the Ion Max, etc. Don't typically work for me on house, but I bowl sport stuff. What type of pattern would a ball like that work for? Sport stuff. Yeah, a Gem, Ion Max are usually best on sport patterns. They're not that great on house shots most of the time, unless your house shot is a flood, an absolute flood. Let's see. Geek. Ooh, that's a really good question, actually. Not really bowling related specifically, but what platform are you hoping to get the most traction on? Bowling have a stronger presence on one? I think bowling has the strongest presence on, honestly, on all of them. But YouTube is fantastic right now. It's very, very fun. They all are fun in their own ways. Like TikTok, I love the short form content idea. I love just being able to drop a video of me throwing a cool strike or a weird messenger or something. YouTube, I like really having to think about videos and go into deeper topics. Instagram's just fun for the really quick stuff. So I think it's fun to see all of them grow. And I think the most fun one is probably YouTube right now. It's probably the most entertaining. It's just so cool to make the long form content and see what people like to watch and see what they learn the most from. See, Anthony John, for better Arsenal, should I get a Blackout or a Zen 25? I would go Zen 25 with what you have there, Anthony. Brian, what ball would you add to the current Arsenal? Purple, phase 4, altered. I would go a solid ball, like a Summit Ascent. Lethal Venom could be really good. GB5 could be decent, something like that. Let's see, Daytona. What's the difference when the mass bias is on the left or the right of the CG? Absolutely nothing. When the mass bias goes one way or the other, when the ball is just like on an undrilled ball, doesn't matter. Does not mean anything for you. William, Hypervenom or Hammer Anger? The Anger is a lot later and a lot sharper, so it really depends what kind of reaction you want. If you want a really big boom down lane, go with the Anger. You want smoother, definitely go with the Hyper. Let's see. JEP, I'm going for a 6-ball Arsenal. You have a Gem, Ruby, Level, and Ice. So you need 2 more. I would go like I'm just getting peppered with stuff. Gem, Ruby, Level, and Ice. I would go like a stronger Pearl Ball, like a Zen 25 or an Attention Star, and then I would go like a Summit Ascent or a Phase 2. Thanks, I'll stay on the left since I'm a lefty. Oh yeah, stay left as a lefty. Urethane's gonna be your friend out there, Michael. Hey, Bo, what's going on, man? Just watch your vid on interchangeable thumbs and I'm making the switch. Awesome, love that. I mean, you have a lot of bowling balls. So I always recommend it for anybody with more than like 3 to 4 bowling balls. Interchangeables are the play. Definitely the play. It's so hard to switch the tape all the time. And I'm a big baby when it comes to tape and like my thumb not fitting. So yeah, I always recommend switching it out a lot. See, George, ever open a Bowling World Bowler Smart mystery box? I have not. We've had a lot of viewers do it. What you should remember or note is that about 75% of them or 80% of them will be Brunswick bowling balls. So most of the balls in mystery sales are on sale balls, closeout balls, balls that are recently discontinued that they want to get rid of. That's a good way to be able to sell those balls. Sorry to break the illusion, Bowler Smart and Bowler X and all of you. Please don't ban me or sue me for that. But that's usually what they do. They're going to throw in random like overseas balls and super strong Asyms and things like that. But in general, it's going to be the balls that are on sale. You're getting them for cheaper, which is good. They're selling them for cheaper, but you're not going to get those super crazy good bowling balls. You're not going to get an Ion Max from one or something like that. Let's see. Where are we at? I think I missed a couple comments over on YouTube. Devin Boddicker. I have an Equinox and a Rockstar. I am pro level and a spare ball. What should I get for my 5th ball? You have a pro level and a spare ball. I would go Zen 25 or a Road Warrior to go below the Equinox. I think that would fit. See, Keaton, I'm slightly rev dominant, tend to struggle with big balls. We talked about that one. Yofo, how do you line up for spares? I move my feet to line up straight from my 7-pin to the center 4th arrow. When I do the same for 10s, it goes to the gutter. So it's a lot of guess and test, Yofo. So for me, like personally, let's see if I remember where I stand. I stand on 18 and I look at 18 for my 10 pins. I drift like 13 boards and I miss my spot 3 boards to the left. So it makes me hit about 21. My feet end up about 33 and it works out. For 7 pins, I line up on 8. I line up on 8 and I look at 20. And because of my drift, I end up hitting 7 pins. So it really is, you have to just guess and test. So go to practice and just try different spots and see what happens. Like I'm going to stand on 30 and I'm going to hit 20. Oh, it went in the gutter. I'm going to move my feet further to the right. I'm going to stand on 25 now and hit 20. Ooh, that hit the 3-pin in the face. I need to go in between the 2. That is always my recommendation. You need to test it out. It's terrible and very hard to do that in the middle of competition. Very, very hard to do it in competition. Bowling Brian, any news on what will replace the Ruby? I'm hoping for an AI version in the future. I know no news about new bowling balls. I'm hoping for an IQ AI, like a Pearl IQ AI would be really cool. I would be curious to see how it would roll, but we do need a ball in that realm because we only have the Hustles and we have the Lightning Blackout in the weak and sharp category right now. which is very unfortunate. Let's see. Gandhi, currently, which is the best Asym ball for fresh oil conditions? I like the Ion Max and the Jackal Onyx best. Those are my best favorites. Willie. Ooh, here we go. What's going on, Willie? Haven't seen you in a little bit. You bought the Fusion. Yeah, update on the Swag Fusion. It's a pretty ball, but weaker than I expected. They market it as a mid-heavy ball, but it's weaker than my Rip. It looks good on high friction, but not very impressed. It puked on me often. That is unfortunately what I've heard a lot with the Swag balls. I've gotten a little bit of flack from some Swag fans. Hey, Juliana, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. The Swag balls are very smooth and slow down lane. You have a lot of axis rotation, you might like them, but I would be careful with them. Yes, they are a little cheaper, but they are weaker than they promoted and they marketed. So I would stick with the main 11 brands for now, for a little longer. Unfortunately, the reviews were a little more biased than I thought they would be. I was very disappointed to see that. Also, Maribeth, I just saw you sent Go Birds 31 times. Thank you so much. And Geek sent a lightning bolt and a rose over on TikTok. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. James, heading to practice. The pattern is Mexico City. I'm going to bring the Pride and Venoms. I would bring a little stronger and smoother. Well, as a lefty, no, I think you're pretty good there. Maybe one strong and smooth ball and you'll be good. Corey, you do an amazing job. Thank you, Corey. My ball speed is 18. Rev rate is 345. Which ball fits best? I think IQ Tour fits best for you. You're pretty balanced, honestly. So I think an IQ Tour will be the most versatile for you. Hey, franchise, welcome back. Let's see. I'd like to start playing tournaments by the end of the year. If I have an Onyx, EJ, and a Lethal Venom, what would you add? So for tournaments, my always big shtick is make sure you have a really strong ball. Always have a strong, smooth ball when you bowl tournaments, no matter what. I think that's a necessity. When you go to a bowling tournament, your goal is to find friction. Know where friction is. If you have no friction, you need to make friction. And that is one of the biggest things. When you bowl without friction, that's when you're screwed. That's when you are not going to do well. So strong, smooth ball, you have an Onyx, which is great. I would recommend a Pearl ball, though. Yeah, I would stick with a Pearl, like a Primal Rage would be really good as like a middle Pearl ball for your franchise. Kelsey B, you have an Omega Crux, an Axiom Pearl, and a Prism Warp. Would you recommend anything else? Ooh, wow. Older balls, Omega and Prism Warp are stronger. Axiom Pearl is a stronger Pearl. I would honestly go with like a weaker smooth bowling ball or a stronger Pearl ball. So stronger Pearl ball, you have a little bit of everything for brands. You could go like the new Black Widow Mania could be really good. You could go what else would fit? Attention Star would be pretty good. You could go like a Nuclear Forge from Motive. I think that would be the next step. Otherwise, you could go a little bit weaker than the Axiom Pearl and go with like a Road Warrior. Not gonna lie, getting into bowling, so buy them secondhand. Oh, that's all good. That's a-okay. I mean, that's the best way. In my opinion, that's the best way to start. Even later on, hell, I buy used balls all the time. I buy like a used ball every month or two. I bought a few less lately, but I'd say half of my arsenal is used bowling balls right now. What do I use right now? I'm just gonna turn around and look. Phase 2 was used. My GV5 was used. James Kniffen, by the way. Shout out James Kniffen. Black Widow 3.0 was used. Vaporize, also James Kniffen, also used. So I would go something like that, Kelsey, and you should be good. Hunter, what are your thoughts on the Heckler? Is the Hypnotize a smooth ball? Hypnotize is not smooth. It's very sharp. The Heckler is really good, a little bit stronger and smoother. Overall, pretty decent ball, though. I actually really like it. All right. Did I miss anything higher up? I know I missed a couple comments, so apologies. V Lim, do you have a recommendation on cleaning a Black Widow Mania? Just like every other ball that you clean, you can buy some cleaner or you can do a resurface and you should be good. David Pav, what's the next ball I should get? I have the Harsh Reality and the Eternity, thinking the Origin. The Origin's going to fit right in between them, David. So I don't know if you need an Origin. You might want something weaker to fit around it. Gross Toaster. You guys are smoking it with the usernames today. I love it. Zen U, Magic Gem, Summit, Idle Cosmos, and Hammer Raw. Is that a good arsenal? I think the only thing you're missing is another Pearl Ball, but otherwise, yeah, I like it overall. Gross, you're good. Logan Stanton, I have a Physics Blackout and Ion Pro. I would go with a Zen 25. Zen 25 or Optimum Idol Pearl, since you have a lot of Storm stuff, would be good. Rothanak, I know EJ is the best in the world right now. Who would you like to see win their first title? Yours is Tim Foy. Timmy Tan. Next question. I am now, after watching this weekend, the biggest Timmy Tan fan the world has ever seen. I have never tried following somebody faster on socials than Timmy Tan after the event. I don't know why. I just love his game. It's so unique and amazing. He gets so many revs on it without trying, and the backswing is so high. I love that dude. Absolutely love it. Adorable love story where his girlfriend flew in like 20 some hours from Malaysia. He's Malaysia's like greatest bowler right now. Timmy Tan is the one that I would love to see win a title. Now, I don't know if he's coming back for the World Series or the Masters or anything, but if there are no Timmy Tan fans in the world, then I'm dead. Like, that's how it is. But otherwise, yeah, Tim Foy would be super cool too to win a title. He seems very genuine dude. Hey, Bob Olson, thank you for the follow. Bowling Brian, do you have a favorite interchangeable thumb? I am a big Turbo fan. Turbo, hit me up, please. That'd be great. No, I've just always used Turbo. Minnesota Turbo is much more popular. It really depends on what area you're in for what's popular. I know Jopo took off a little bit, but they are more expensive. They're about $5 more expensive per sleeve, 5 to 10. So if you want the most, the most like durability, you probably want to go Jopo. They are very durable, very durable. But if you just want ease, I'd go Turbo or Vice. I like Turbo. Vice is also has an incredible thumb system. So either way. Bring back bowling. Just added a Lethal Venom and a Summit Peak. Currently have a Reality Check, a Cosmos, a Black Widow Hybrid, and a Pitch Purple. What should I add or replace? Lethal Venom, Summit Peak. Currently have Reality Check, Cosmos, Hybrid, and a Pitch Purple. Any suggestions? I don't know if you need a Cosmos and a Peak in the same bag, just like I don't know if you need a Black Widow Hybrid and a Reality Check in the same bag. So you might not need both of those. I would go one more solid ball around the Lethal Venom, and then you should be good. Something weaker probably, like a Scorpion Low Flare, or even just a Venom Shock. Venom Shock might be the play. Jared Lorinsky, I have a Venom Shock and an XL with no solids in between. Could I have yes, you could have a Lethal Venom. Absolutely. I would recommend an Effect Tour over the Envy Tour. The Envy Tour might look a little too similar to the XL. They're going to be a little too close for what you've got. Sir Jones, what is the real difference between ball performance levels? Is high performance any better than mid or upper? No, absolutely not. That is a very good point. Also, Kai, thank you so much for the subscription on TikTok. Welcome. We do have a subscription system on TikTok where I help you with your bowling ball arsenals, and I can give you a little video lesson if you want to go do that. It's like $4 or $5 a month. It's nothing too absurdly high. But thank you, Kai. So, Sir Jones, yes, there are differences. No, there are none that are better than others. So, compared to other things in other areas of the world, like not world, but other, like if you're buying a bed, we'll go a mattress. Usually more expensive is better. Bowling, more expensive is not better. It means it has a different ball reaction. So the more expensive bowling balls tend to hook earlier, closer to you. The cheaper bowling balls we call weaker bowling balls, they hook later. There are times that a weaker bowling ball will outhook a stronger bowling ball. So no, there are differences, but no, there's not one that's better than the other. High performance isn't better than mid performance. It's better in some situations. Let's see. Sock left. How similar are the Vibo and the Blackout? Not very. The Vibo is much longer and much longer. Similar ball reaction down lane, but it hooks a lot later than the Physics Blackout. All right, I got to blow my nose quick, so apologies. I'm just going to go off screen quick and mute. All right, we're back. I've been sick for like 2 weeks. It's weird. It doesn't go away ever. But we're vibing. Let's see. Abigail, I just got a mystery ball at Bowling World, and it was a ricochet. That's not a bad one, but the ricochet is not selling that great. So that's partially why you got one, but that is a pretty good pull, honestly. The ball's not bad. The ball's not as bad as I expected it to be. I did not have high hopes for that ricochet. I'm just not a big Columbia 300 fan right now. I don't know why. The throwback balls just don't do it for me. None of them have really hit it out of the park yet. Kind of disappointing. Sorry, Columbia. Bowlers aren't the biggest fans of them right now. Let's see. Kelsey, thank you for the explanation. Absolutely. You're welcome. Riandam, I'm about to get a Black Widow Mania. What's a good standard layout? My standard layout is always 45 by 4.5 by 45. I think that's a good middle of the road layout. All hin we hit. David, thank you for the follow. Kev Rock, I need a Pearl Ball, Road Warrior or Black Widow. Yeah, Khalil says Black Widow. If you want a stronger ball, definitely Black Widow. If you want weaker, go with a Road Warrior. Also, Riddles, what's going on? When can we expect to see the link for Discord? I'm ready to join. Good question. How do I post that? What is the best place to post that? I am going to grab it quick, and I'm going to throw it in. I did not spell Linktree right. Nope, Linktree. Linktree, Zachary. There you go. Good job, kid. You tried so hard. Okay, let me grab it quick. I'm going to post it in all of the chats. Can I post it here? Wait, does this work? Did Restream like it? I think Restream liked it. So I just posted the link out on Twitch and YouTube and on TikTok. I don't know if it's going to like it, but there is a Discord link. That joins the ZVL Bowling Discord. Let me know if it works or not, by the way. I'm not positive it's going to. But if it does, please let me know. I don't know if it's going to like me actually posting a link. And Al-Haman, I have an Ion Max Phase 2 Vibo Infinite Physics. 180 average, high game of 278. I like that arsenal. You might need something a little weaker like a Road Warrior, and then you'll be good to go. I think a Road Warrior will fit best. Hey, Kieran, what's going on? Let's see. Jose, what do you think about the Arctic Vibe? I think it is one of the best weak bowling balls made in the last couple of years. It's the best Vibe ever made, too. Kieran, have you thrown the 3D Assault? I have not, but I think our bowls or someone else is trying to talk me into it. They have been trying to talk me into buying an Assault for so long. So if I find a cheap one, I might pick it up. OB, pretty crazy how much difference drilling makes. 2-inch level, I can throw down 10 to 6. The same level, 50 by 4.5 by 30, I'm staying on 27. So that level the layout matters more than ever with that Storm level compared to any other ball I've ever seen. It's wild, the differences. Absolutely wild. Hey, Ryder, what's going on? How you doing? Bowler's Mart Mystery Ball for Abigail got an Envy Tour. That is wild. That is super wild. It worked while we're all up in there now. Awesome, Geek. Love to see that. I will be making videos for it too. Thank you, Riddles, for making a little post about that. Hey, Ark over on Twitch. What's going on, man? How you doing? Willie, I found the swag reviews to be a bit misleading, and I have a lower axis tilt, which makes sense. Yeah, that was a little disappointing. I was hoping that they would be a little more realistic, but that is the issue with ball reviews right now is it's very hard to find a ball review that is unbiased. All of them are biased in some way if they get the ball early, because the only way to get the ball early is from the company. And if you're getting free product, just in sponsorships in general, it's not a good idea to talk bad about them. You can get your contract ripped up pretty quick. Kind of disappointing. I wish there was a better way to have real ones, but alas. Choreo. Allie totaled 2 balls of mine. They're willing to replace them. The balls were a Game Breaker Asym and a Dark Code. If you want perfect replacements, go Physics Blackout for the Dark Code. For the Game Breaker, I would go like Deviate Mantra will probably be the closest you get. That would probably be the best 1-to-1 comparison. Let's see. BB Hell. Ball suggestion with UC3 and Attention Star. I second the Timmy Glaze too. Timmy Tan for life, baby. Timmy Tan for life. Ricky, thank you for the 20 coins for a Let 'em Cook. Ball suggestion with a UC3 and a Star. Honestly, Summit Ascent will be really good. Otherwise, an XL, a Rotogrip XL could fit really, really well too. Also, that XL might be on sale right now, which is wild. Gandhi, I would like to change the grit of the Onyx to higher than box. Does it affect the ball reaction? It will make it, if you want to bring it like from 2000 to like 4000, I would go, what it'll do is it'll make the ball hook later. And no, it won't change, like, it won't hurt the ball in any way. You can resurface a ball a million times and it'll be okay. Franchise, one more question. Make a video about this. What's the best way to clean my chamois? I use Vice the most, but maybe you could show us on the ZVL chamois too. I absolutely could. My favorite way is warm water and dish soap, and then letting the chamois soak in it for about 5 to 10 minutes. The water is going to get nice and gross. You dump it out, put more warm water in, put more dish soap in, and redo the process until the water isn't gross anymore. And by gross, it just gets super dark and oily. Let's see. Let's go up to Ken R. I'm taking a chance at eating a sandwich bought at lunch. What's... I'm taking a chance at eating a sandwich bought at lunch. That's awesome. It should be fine. It hasn't been that long. What big B to replace my polished DNA? Pure Envy. Pure Envy, but a little bit shinier. Justin, what do you think a good average score is for an intermediate bowler at age 18? It really depends on how much you bowl. It really depends on what you bowl, how much you bowl. In my opinion, age doesn't matter for like putting yourself on a pedestal or like on a comparison with others, because like, for example, Ryan Barnes is 22, but he's been bowling longer than me by a landslide. He's been bowling for probably 17 years of his life. I've been bowling for 8. So even though he's younger than me, he still has more bowling experience. So I wouldn't rate yourself on that. But I mean, intermediate, when I think of intermediate bowler, I think of 160 to 180 is usually what I go for. But it all depends. Unable to verify. Are you kidding me, TikTok? You good, TikTok? All right, we're good. Hey, Ricky, thank you for the subscription. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's go to Devin. How do you feel about the Equinox? I just drilled mine, going to use it in championship. It's really good on the fresh. I think it's a fantastic fresh ball. I don't think it's as good as a transition ball. I think it's best for fresh though. Michael Smith, you have a Vaporize, a Green Black Widow Toxin, an Effect, a Mesmerize, a Hypnotize, an Ivory Rhino, and a Jackal Onyx. Whew. A lot of Asyms. So I would recommend a symmetrical ball next, like a Scorpion Low Flare or even a Hazmat Solid would work really well for you, Michael. Sock left. How similar are the Vibo and Blackout? They are not similar at all. They are very different. The Vibo is much longer, similar ball reaction, but hooks a lot later. Franchise, Timmy Tan is the man. That's my mom's favorite bowler. Hey, your mom has great taste. That is awesome. You're my mom's favorite bowler. Is probably the best thing that a bowler could ever hear. George G, I recently switched to two-handed. I'm tracking over the finger holes. Remember, you don't want to go perfectly through the bowling ball with your fingers. You want to go slightly around it yet. That'll help you out. Khalil, like the Super Cuda is kind of disappointing. It is. Some people like it. I'm not the biggest fan, just from what I see. It's a little more hit or miss for people. The Jacob Popple. I got a Black Widow 3.0 and an Arctic. I'm wondering, what do you think would fit in this setup? I think a shiny ball, a medium sharp ball would be best for you, Jacob. Kieran, I want the Assault, but as a college student, can't be spending money like that. Hey, I mean, think about how much ramen you can get for a 3D Assault. So I feel that. Just want your opinion because it has great reviews. It does look really, really good. I will admit that Assault looks awesome. Hammer makes different bowling balls than the rest of the Brunswick brands, I swear. They just all seem very good, which is cool. I love that for them. I love Hammer products. I have like 3 or 4 Hammer balls right now, but it's just interesting. Besides the Onyx and Ion Max, what's the next best solid Asym? Track Criterion. Track Criterion is the next best. Gandhi, to be a better bowler, what type of pattern should I practice on? Everything. Bowl on everything and anything that you can. Short patterns, long patterns, medium patterns, burnt patterns, fresh patterns, everything. That is what makes you a better bowler. The more versatility you have, the better you will be. Dad skates bad. I'm doing worse with 10 pins with my new plastic ball. Really? Did I waste my money? I don't think so. Are you practicing? Have you tried practicing them, Dad? That's a weird thing to say. But have you like gone to the lanes, like not in a scoring situation and practice like, all right, this is where I stand, this is where I throw? Or if you haven't done that, I highly recommend trying that. Johan, is the Arctic vibe a step down for the Troublemaker Pearl? Yes, it is. Hey, K-Profit, what's going on over on Twitch? Reminder, we are live on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube right now. Michael Smith, we hit. What do you think? Yeah, I think you have a lot of Asyms, but I think Asym would help out a little bit. We are at, have you drilled the Equinox, Logan? I have thrown it. I have not drilled one, though. I threw Maribeth's a little bit out in Pittsburgh. She is not here right now to make fun of. McGee. New IQ Tour coming soon? I hope so. But there is an IQ Tour AI that is currently approved, but it was approved for overseas. So nothing yet. Nothing yet. Moose, do you think the purple hammer is the best ball at the moment? It is the best urethane. I don't think it's the best bowling ball. Urethanes are kind of a different category in my head. It is the best urethane and has been for a long time, but I don't think it's the best bowling ball. It's just, it can't be used in enough situations for enough bowlers. In my opinion, a good bowling ball works well for a wide range of bowlers. That's why the phase 2 is so good. You can be speed dominant, rev dominant, a little bit of everything. The ball still rolls good. Hey, Don Clifton, welcome, welcome. Let's see, bring back bowling. Your reality check is 45 by 4 by 30. Your hybrid is 55 by 4 3/4 by 35. Okay, and you have all of them. Love the Venom Shocker, low flare. Okay, perfect. All right, two-hand, and we hit that. Two-handed life, Tropical Surge, Hustle X-Ray, or Ion Pro for a rev dominant player in second shift league. I would go the Ivory Pro first. I think that'll look a little bit better for you. Done. Timmy Tan the GOAT. The absolute GOAT. Sarah Capia, do you think surfacing would be legal midway through competition? It is not. No, ball cleaner and surfacing a ball are not legal once practice is over. So you can't touch the surface of a ball and you can't clean it or put anything on the ball once practice session is over. Ken R, tap the screen. Yes, tap the screen on TikTok. It would help me out a ton. We're at 9,000 likes right now on TikTok. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Munch, what is your goat ball? Asym and Sim. Asym goat ball. I don't know. What is my Asym goat ball? Probably a shiny ball. I really like the nuclear cell. I never really had a good Asym ball that matched up. Effect Tour has been really good for me as of late for about 6 months now. Symmetrical is by far phase 2. 100% of phase 2. Otherwise, Asym, I liked the old Deviate Thug series. The Thug Unruly won me my first title. The Radical Xeno line was really good for me for some weird reason. That ball was terrible for everybody except for me. I threw a 300 with that thing. Probably one of those would be my bet. But I haven't liked many Asyms, which is unfortunate. George, any tips for not tracking over the fingers? We hit that one a little bit. Make sure to go around the ball and not through it. LG Fridge, what is a transition shot? So when a oil pattern is first put out, we call it the fresh. When the fresh pattern. When people start bowling on it and it's about a game and a half in, we start calling that transition, where the oil changes. And then when there isn't much oil left on the right side, when you throw a lot of games, like after 3 games or so, we call that the burn. Let's see. OB, how do you feel about 2-inch pin on a Vibo? I do not like a 2-inch pin on a pearl ball. 2-inch pins really need to stay on solid balls, not be on pearls. All right, let's go back over here. Abigail, my bag is an Effect Tour, an Anger, and the 1 Encore. What should I get next? You're a 2-hander. I'd go with a weak solid ball, like a Scorpion Low Flare. It looks like you like a lot of Brunswick stuff, so Low Flare and Arctic Vibe, I think, will be the play. Rothanak, what are your thoughts about the Ethos Hybrid? I think the Ethos Hybrid is really good. It was very much slept on. Both Ethos balls were slept on, which is unfortunate. The original was really good. The hybrid was also really good. It just didn't have that pop or that pizzazz factor that helped it sell well. Because bowling balls need that. It is, I mean, it's a product you want to throw, so you're not going to want to throw the ugly ones. Ryder AJ, wasn't able to get my Vibo before they went out of stock. We only have one big distributor in Toronto. Oh, stock is always minimal. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry for that. Don Ryan Barnes switched from basketball to bowling, but it helps having 2 PBA Hall of Famers. He did, but he was also bowling a lot before that. He was bowling one-handed for quite a while. So he never didn't bowl by any means with those two. But he did progress. He only picked up two-handed after that. I think at like age 18 or something. So yeah, it depends. Memories, do you think the widow can be an everything ball? Not everything. I think it's better for transition. At transition and onward, yes, it's good. But before that, not as good. Right, let me catch up over here. What is a good ball to use for League from Leon? There's a lot of really good options. Really, almost any ball is going to be good for League. Justin Cruss, I have the IQ 2 or Pearl and an Ion Max. I would recommend like a medium level ball, like a Phase 2 or a Zen 25, since you have a lot of Storm stuff. Jacob, what ball would you recommend? I'm still trying to learn everything. Oh, all good, Jacob. Don't worry about that. I just got to scroll up and see what your original was. You got a Black Widow 3.0 and an Arctic. What do you think would fit in this setup? I believe I said something in between would be really good, like a medium sharp ball. Scorpion Strike is really good right now. That is probably my best recommendation for you. Sorry, CIP, I am not having a guest. Heilman, thank you for the follow. Dad skates bad. Not enough. Just practice game situations. I'll try that for sure. Yep. Just keep practicing. Try to find spots to stand, just definite spots to stand. I would recommend trying to throw it the same way and don't use too much muscle. Don't try to muscle the ball. It'll go straight no matter what. Death Touch Gaming, thank you for the follow. Make sure, quick reminder, make sure to drop follows if you haven't. Make sure to drop subscriptions if you haven't. It helps me out a ton. And then you can be notified when we have some really cool bowling videos go live. One really fun one we have coming up next week is how to bowl in your first tournament. For anybody who's never bowled a bowling tournament, I give a step-by-step guide on exactly what to do to prepare for that and to go to that tournament. I really like the video personally, very biased. Otherwise, we have a lot of really cool content coming up soon, including talking about nationals, which is coming up faster than I thought. Let's see. Row BA, lefty two-hander, trying motive. You got a Thrill and an EJ and an Onyx on the way. Awesome. Love to hear that. I always like experimenting with different brands. I think it's a good idea. Don, I throw one league, but I bowl about 7 different houses. Each one is different. That does too. Different bowling centers also help versatility a lot. Bowling Brian, Attention Star, and Phase 2 are my favorites. Those are arguably the 2 best on the market for a league arsenal right now. I wouldn't say best, but top 5. Paul Kim, who's your favorite bowler of all time and current? I'm not a big bowling historian, so I don't know a lot of past bowlers. I don't really have a favorite. Like I said, Timmy Tan, the GOAT, love watching him. More of like just first time seeing him, so he's awesome. Otherwise, I've really liked Andrew Anderson. He's always one I root for. I always root for Hoope. He has gorgeous form, super nice dude too, very quiet. Belmo is just absolute GOAT. He's just in amaze. I just watch him in amazement. Him and Simo and EJ, they're a different level. They're a different breed of bowler. So I don't really have many, but I'm not really good with having favorites in sports. I don't know why. It's just part of me. I just can't have like a favorite team or a favorite person. I just love watching good bowlers in this sense. Zane, thought of a Summit Ascent, Absolute Power, and Ion Pro. That's a good 1-2-3 combo, but you could switch one of them for a Pearl. Devin, how do you feel about the Equinox? Like I mentioned, I really like it for the fresh, but not really for transition. It's really good for a league shot ball. David Wall or Arctic Vibe or Road Warrior. It depends what you're using it for. I think both are good in different situations. Arctic Vibe is better for a fresh shot. Road Warrior is better for transition. George, lastly, I got a Black Widow Mania and a Raw Solid, looking for something in between. Scorpion, Venom Shock is a really good in-between ball. Scorpion Strike, like you mentioned, is a really good in-between ball. There's a lot of really good ones, but those would be 2 good ones. Death Touch, agreed. My biggest issue is staying ahead of transition. The biggest one with that is to assume that when you miss, like if you leave a 4-pin or a 10-pin, try not to always blame it on yourself. Don't blame it on your physical game all the time, because even if you don't throw it perfect, there is still a good chance the lane is transitioning. And the way to stay ahead of transition is to read it when you see your ball, leaving a 4-pin. Ooh, I 4-pinned. Maybe it was because I threw it slow. No, move left. Move 2 boards left. Ooh, I left a weird 10-pin there. What should I do? Move left. Stay ahead of transition all the time. I'm noticing when I say left on my head, it's right for you guys. Whoopsie. Jackson Harris, you have an Ion Max, Physics Blackout, Phase AI, Road Warrior, 78U. Thinking the Pro would be a good addition. It would be a fantastic addition, Jackson. I think that's perfect. I see Paul Kim, thoughts on spare balls with a core. I don't like them. Would it fit in any slots? No. I think they're too niche. If you are insanely rev dominant, you could find a way to do it. I don't think it's always a great option, though, unless you want to play absurdly straight. It's the only way you should throw it. Yofo, does increasing revs or speed change your pap? Anytime you change your ball roll or your swing or anything like that, it can change it a little bit. Just a little bit, nothing crazy. Bowling Brian, always liked Norm Duke. Norm was always fun to cheer for also. And looking forward to the tournament advice video for sure. It's coming next week. Sleepy Bear. I just got back into bowling and you bowled a 192, a 201, and a 240. Nice. I bowl like Tom Doherty. Single hand, no thumb. What 2 balls would you recommend to add? You have a Black Widow 3.0 and an Arctic. So Scorpion Strike would fit really well. And I would go like even a Black Widow Mania could be really good. Just something to pair alongside that 3.0. Ryder, do you think the Pearl urethane spare balls like the Rotogrip Spare or Mix are too strong for two-handers? I always recommend plastic balls, but the mixes are more durable. They do hook, though. They hook a decent amount. So if you're a two-hander and you're rev dominant, just go with a T-zone. Just trying to stick with SBI just because of my pro shop. Yeah, then you have to go in ice. And ice is the only true plastic ball from Storm. Ryder, the Dark Rotogrip RG is on sale. That one is a good option too. That one, black spare balls, go straighter. Is 100%. If you want the straightest ball in the market, it is the all black Galaxy T-Zone. That is the straightest by a mile. That thing doesn't hook. I've thrown it a few times from a friend, and wow, does that thing go straight. Gandhi, how to drill my Onyx. Your pin to pap is 5. PSA to pap is 5. I would go, if we're going dual angle, I like 40 by 4.25 by 50. It's my favorite. Devin, any tips on how to hit a 10 pin? If you have a plastic ball, find out how far, where you need to stand. Find out where you need to stand. Find out how to hit over 4th arrow. 4th arrow is going to be your best friend when shooting 10 pins. Hey, thank you, Outlaw, for the heart me. So those are going to be my 2 best tips. A lot of practice. If you have a plastic ball, go over 20. That gives you the most room for error. And then just try that out. Corey, Ryan didn't touch a ball from ages 12 to 19. Really? Huh. I didn't know that. I honestly don't know all that much about Ryan. And thank you for the hat and mustache, Outlaw. Yeah, I used a bad example then. Let's go with, I don't know, pick young bowler here. I mean, in general, it can be older bowlers too. If it's somebody who's just bowled more than you, that's where age doesn't really come into effect that much, because it's all about experience for bowling. You learn so much the more you bowl, if you like it or not. Like, you know so much more after bowling for 5 years than you did after bowling for 2. It's crazy. Let's see. I threw 523 from Stefan on Monday night. Australia time with the Belmo Trend 2, Belmo Journey, and a white dot plastic. Nice. That is awesome. George saw Venom Shock on sale somewhere. Ooh, that's hard to find. That's a good pickup if you can do that. Let's see. Zane, I have an Absolute Power Physics Blackout Ion Pro Absolute. What should I add? I would go with a weaker Pearl Ball, like a Road Warrior would be good, Zane. Paul, you the goat. Hey, thanks, Paul. Death. All right, with the transition stuff being said, my center is super old. Any idea to play the lanes? You always want to play left. The older the lanes, the further left you have to play because of transition and the weaker ball you have to use. So then you have to just start left and keep moving. Also, Ian, what's going on? Henry, what do you think about the new Storm Clear spare ball? It goes straight. It goes straight. It's very expensive. It's more expensive than most spare balls. So if you like the look of it, that's the only reason I would buy it. Otherwise, T-zones are cheaper. Philip, I was told I'm a cranker, rev dominant, trying to learn to crank less and be more balanced to allow ball do more work. You mentioned I had mostly pearls. Any recommendations on a solid? So, Philip, if you're a cranker and rev dominant, I'd try boosting the speed instead of lowering the rev rate. I think boosting the speed is always a better play. But because you want a solid ball, try a Scorpion Low Flare. It's cheap. It is a hybrid. It is pretty much a solid, though. It acts like a solid. I think that would be a decent option. Otherwise, like a Hustle X-Ray could be good, too. Let's see. Stefan, I've got a 39-foot pattern this weekend. Ooh, good luck, good luck. It's a little bit shorter, so your break point has to be near the gutter. Death Touch. I've been using a Road Warrior, and it's still too strong. That's not a good sign. You might have to use something even weaker then. Ryan, how should I attack 2024 Dragon? I'm going to look it up quick. 2024 PBA Dragon. I have not looked at that pattern in a minute. 45 feet. 30 mils. Ooh, you're going to want to play with a tight breakpoint. Play left, keep your breakpoint left. That's going to be your best play. Play over like third arrow to start. Your breakpoint will be about 9 at the arrows, and that'll be your play, and then just keep moving left. Yofo, think of using one of my almost dead balls as a spare ball. That's an option too. You can try that. See if it does. See if it hooks or not. That's always the big one. Row BA. How should I drill my Onyx? Usually stand on 30, aim between second and third arrow. You are a little more rev dominant. You're gonna want like probably 4.5 for the pin distance. I'd go like 50 by 4.5 by 50. Also, Enoch just barely got home in time. Hey, Enoch, good to see you. Good to see you. Ian, I'm getting a 78U. All right, all right. Stefan, I'm a left-hander. Okay, awesome. So yeah, you'll keep your breakpoint pretty close to the gutter yet. Definitely. All right. I am noticing how late it is, so I am going to do last call on questions. Last call on questions, and then we're going to call it a nighty night. So let's hit a couple more, and then we're going to go from there. So ask any more questions that you have. I'll go through one more pass, and then we're going to call it a night. So start with Anonymous on YouTube. I'm more of a rev dominant two-hander now that I'm older and haven't bowled in like 15 years. Speed drop from 18 to about 15. The bowling lanes around me are fairly dry. During the day I go. What ball would you recommend for the dry? So speed drop, you're probably rev dominant. I would go with like the Hustle line. Hustle M&M is really good. Otherwise a Storm Road Warrior. If you want to go a different brand, the Max Throw Pearl for Motive might not be bad. What else would be good? Probably like an Ocean Vibe isn't terrible, or a Hammer Anger. A lot of options for you. Just weaker pearl balls. Paul, how do you lean your bowling balls? What product do you use for daily maintenance? I don't daily maintain them. All I do is wipe them off with a chamois every shot. That usually keeps them very clean. That's my best recommendation. Always be wiping off the chamois. Always be wiping them off. What ball? Yeah, we hit that one. Don, are you thinking of picking up any of the swag balls? I am not. No, I was seeing... I saw a lot of reviews. They were hyped up by a lot of the staffers. After the public has gotten them, they just aren't it. They aren't great. They're very smooth and slow down lane, a little weaker than you'd expect. So they're weak and smooth. That's in my one ball that doesn't really match for me is balls that roll like that. So I'm not going to be picking one up. They're probably okay. But nah, I'm going to avoid them and stick with the main brands. Let's see. Johnny, I currently use a Rotogrip Tour Dynamics. I'm looking for an upgrade. Rockstar, Rotogrip Rockstar is really good. That might be a good option. All right, let's hit a couple comments over on YouTube or TikTok. Love your content. I have a question. What is the best advice you can give for high school bowling? Practice a lot. Practice a lot and pick up your spares. Those are my best 2 tips. Spares are going to be a big one. That's the easy, unfortunately, the easy button when someone asks for advice, but spares are key. Josh Glass, Deviate Troublemaker solid. Ball's pretty good. Ian, when did you mess up your first 300? I only have. This is actually my. I don't want to brag, but I think I'm almost 100% when I get to the 11th frame on 300s. I think I have 2 299s in my life. No, I have 3. I have 3. 2 of them were in the same day, in the same tournament. 3 299s in my life and 5 300s. 6 300, something like that. So I have a pretty okay track record right now. But the first one was state tournament. I was 19 years old. So Minnesota State tournament. And it was game 2. So I went 220 in game 1. And I was playing pretty deep. I wasn't very good at the time. And I shot the first 11. The 11th one was a Brooklyn. The 12th one was an even worse Brooklyn shot, and I left a 5-pin. So that would have been my second 300 ever at the time if I would have gotten it. So pretty early. Big boy bowling is 214 average, good for 14-year-old. Absolutely. Low key, should I sand my origin 15 or 2000? I would go 2000 on heavier oil. Creed, what do you think of the night road? It's not great. It's well, I shouldn't say that. The night road was pretty okay. The night road was pretty good. It was stronger than a lot of people thought, and it's a little bit smoother, so be ready for that. Stefan, what should I start with on the weekend? Trend 2 or Journey? I would start with the Journey. I like the Journey a lot. I thought that ball was very much not loved enough. Josh Glass buying DV8 Troublemaker solid tomorrow. Hey, congrats. That ball looks really good. Kaufmanator, thoughts on the level? The level is weird. One of the weirder balls made. It is a weak smooth ball, and it's really dependent on how you drill it. It's basically like a smooth IQ tour, in my opinion. Ian, 8th frame, but the first 7 were perfect. Ooh, nice. Hey, that's a good run. Yeah, it's a really good run. Justin Myers, what's a good ball for super dry lanes? You're going to want the hustle line from Rotogrip. Jake, I just bought my first ball. Pin up or down? I'd go pin up for sure. Big boy bowling, opinion on the phase 2, best ball ever made. Phase 2 fits nearly everybody. Johnny, we hit Ryder. I just folded and bought the spare ball. Hey, nice. 130 CAD, about 90 USD. That's really good, actually. That's hard to find it for that one. Jaden Sports Collector, that I did not see your other comments. Try rewording them. Reword them to see if they go through and pass the TikTok filter. Postman, full roller here. Awesome. That's okay. Matthew Zarudo, I have an Optimum Idol Pearl and a Vibo. Which one should I throw first on the house shot? Two-hander Rev Dominant. I'm looking for a stronger ball to throw on the Fresh 2. You're probably going to want to throw the Vibo first. For a stronger ball, you might want to go like a Rotogrip XL. Zach Oaks, anyone try the new Epic KT tape or thumb tape? I have not seen that yet, in all honesty. I've not seen that at all. Rick C, I mostly use phase 2, but I have an older blue coral that I don't throw. Okay, that's not bad. Philip, I've been told I'm a cranker. We hit that one already. Which do you think I should go between the two? I'm bowling mostly second league and conditions are fairly burned. I find myself throwing at 40, hitting her 2 or 3 board to strike. That is yeah, I would boost that speed. Lethal Venom in phase 2. I'm working on more balanced. Yeah, I would try to boost your speed. What do you think I should go with between the two? I would go Lethal Venom. I would go, well, go phase 2. Go phase 2. Phase 2 will be a little more versatile and should help a little more. Paul Kim, thoughts on the Life After Death cleaner? That is probably the best one. That is probably the best cleaner on the market today. Jake, I got the Phase AI because it smells good. That's awesome. Brandon, thoughts on the OG Summit? It's strong. Very, very strong bowling ball. It's good, but it's strong. Ian, do you know the Excalibur ball? Me and my dad found one. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. That's an super old ball, though. Jaden, you just drilled up the new Equinox? Nice. That's awesome. It's a good ball. It's a good ball. Ricky, GPA needs to step up from Zen 25, 14 pounds, 13 miles an hour, 300 rev rate. Need a step up. I would go, honestly, Equinox. Equinox will be a good step up from that. Case IH, mix phase 2 Road Warrior and a hustle. Any additional balls for tournament? It's actually a pretty good mix. I like that a lot. You might want a stronger pearl ball, like an Attention Star. I think that'll be good. All right. Corey Hansen, what's a good ball to add if I already have a Journey, a 78U, and a Dark Web? You might want an asymmetrical ball or a weak pearl ball. Jaden, I love throwing it. 20 miles an hour, 500 rev rate. That's a good combo. Hey, thank you, Corey. Appreciate it. Oh, it was the first resin ball ever made. Oh, okay. And Justin Myers, what Brunswick version of Hustle? I think the Vibes are the best comparison to the Hustle. And Corey, thank you for the follow on TikTok. All right, Guitar Hellboy, you're going to be the final comment that we answer. Good ball to get me started for two-handed that gives good hook. Starting two-handed, I would go with a Hammer Raw or a Storm Tropical Surge. Those are going to be your 2 best first balls. All right, we'll get Brandon in there too. Is there a good surface to try on a Vibo? Mine dies in the back end. It's currently 2,000. I would put polish on it. 1,500 grit polish will be a little better. I think that'll make it a little bit more boomy down lane. All right. But with that, that was a lot of comments. That was a lot of talking. My voice is going to be gone in the morning. But that is going to be everything for today. TikTok, we're going to say goodbye to you first. So YouTube, hang around for a little bit. TikTok, thank you so much for hanging out. Really appreciate it. We had a lot of people hanging in. I will see you guys on the next one. I'll be live again next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time. TikTok, bye-bye. All right. Then we have YouTube. YouTube, thank you guys so much for hanging in. YouTube and Twitch. Really appreciate it. This is the most viewers we've ever had on a stream. I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out for so long. We peaked at I think 105. Yeah, 105, 106 was our peak today. That is insane. Thank you guys all so much for hanging around. Really appreciate it. I want to, give you guys a huge thank you. Make sure to subscribe because then you can get notified. Our next couple of videos. Tomorrow, we have a video on the KR Strike Force bowling balls coming out. Sunday, we have a bunch of Friday, actually. We have a long video for a bunch of viewer arsenals. So make sure to go check that out, especially if you inserted or entered a arsenal to me. And then Sunday, we have a video on your very first bowling tournament, how to bowl it. So a lot of really cool content coming up. Thank you guys all so much. Enoch, Brian, thank you guys for hanging